as we're getting her stuff, I'm looking around finding like the fake guns, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna use this, and I still technically have it. It's a fake little toy gun that you got from the Halloween store. It's technically broken now. You used to be able to press the trigger and it would make like a popping sound. It doesn't make that anymore. It shakes, so it's broken, but I don't want to get rid of it. So, anyways, so Halloween comes. The day of Halloween comes. I stayed the night at my grandma's because I just felt like staying the night at my grandma's because I always loved how she decorated the house. That day, me and grandma ended up going to Walmart um, to get candy for her house. So I went home because I tell her, I gotta go home to get ready for the party because my aunt ended up having the party on Halloween that year. That was one of the years she decided to have it on Halloween. So I remember I came home, I got excited, I ate McDonald's that day. Me and my sister ate McDonald's. I got ready because it took me like maybe 10 minutes to get ready. My mom and I went out to go get me black pants, fancy black dress pants, and for the outfit, because Kate had so many different tops and blouses, we just got like a white blouse with buttons, and it actually looked legit. Like it actually looked like something that Kate would have worn. Because we really didn't want to focus too much on the blouse. We were mostly focusing on the jacket because it's like I had it like zipped a button up, so it's like only the top part of the collar was like popping out of the coat. So it's like I don't really care about what I'm wearing underneath, even though I kind of wanted to resemble something a little bit. I don't know. So, anyways, I legit looked. I didn't want to say I looked like Kate Todd because I don't look anything like Sasha Alexander. Like I don't look anything like her. I think she's like Slovakian Russian or something, even though I'm 2% Russian. But, anyways, my cousins and their friends, once I got to the party, they would be like, "Who are you supposed to be?" And I would show them my ID badge. And they'll be like, "You look nothing like her." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, you wouldn't, dude." I mean, hello, it's Halloween. A lot of people probably don't look like who they're actually trying to be. And so, goofball. So, anyways, so me and my sister get ready. My sister took the longest to get ready. I didn't put my handle jacket on until like we left because it's like I just put my hair in a pony or a fancy bun because it's a ball cap. And I was ready like within 10 minutes. So my mom was like, I'm going to drop you off at the house and then I'll come back later tonight. I'm like, okay. You know, so me and my sister, we go and we take a few pictures outside with my boy Baxter. I actually still have the pictures, obviously. And he was so handsome. He was in his costume. He had like a cute little scarf. And I don't even think we passed out candy, to be honest, because I mean, maybe my mom did because she normally has. See, my mom is the person that passes out candy. She loves passing out candy. She doesn't mind doing it. I always volunteer each and every year, and she's like, I want to do it. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Good luck with that 7-year-old that cussed me out when he was 5 and flew his bucket. And, anyways. So, me and my sister went to the party. At the time, it wasn't quite the party because my aunt was like, I want to wait until 7 o'clock when trick or treat ends to actually have the party start. So we're like, okay, whatever. So I go out trick or treating with my cousin. I think my sister went on her own way. I don't remember her particularly being with us. My other cousins were there too, like my cousin Mary Ida, and maybe that's where my sister went. Maybe she went with my cousin Mary Ida, and I was with my cousin Liam. We're just going door to door because Liam made it clear that he didn't want to go to every house. It's like, hey man, it's whatever you want. So even my Aunt Lisa, his mom, gave me a bucket just in case. And it's like, I'm too old. And she's like, just in case. So I'm like, okay. So I go to a couple houses. And I swear, like, each and every... Because my cousin was Zelda from the video game Zelda. No, actually, no, I'm sorry. He was Link. He was Link. He was the red Link. Because there's a game where there's like 4 different color Links. There's like a blue, a green, and a red, and a purple or something. And he was red Link. Or maybe he was blue Link. So I took him, trick-or-treating, and my aunt made him a homemade Link costume that was actually pretty good for being homemade. Not one person knew who I was. They kept, saying, "Who the heck are you?" And I'm like, or after, the second person, I was like, okay, I didn't obviously say this, but I was, thinking to myself, okay, how the heck do they know who Link is, even though that's kind of a popular game, so I kind of get it. Even though half these people were old. So it's like, how the heck do they know who Link is from a video game from the 90s? But yet, my costume literally tells you who I am. On the hat and the jacket, it literally says NCIS in big bold letters. And they don't know who I am? I get that you don't maybe watch the TV show, but his costume doesn't even say who he is. Go! Especially that old bat that said, "Aren't you a little old for trick-or-treating?" And I was like, well, aren't you a little old to be passing out candy? Don't you need a breathing treatment? Where's your grandkids or something that supposed to be passing out candy? Or where's Walter that smells like Bengay? I don't know if you got what I meant by that. That was a Bengay commercial. Anyways. Okay. So anyways, we go to a couple houses. I get a few pieces of candy. It didn't last long. So then we go back to my aunt's house. And the party starts. I just remember it being really fun. So then my mom comes and she's dressed as an Indian. And I'm like, hold the phone. You didn't tell me you were dressing up this year. And I said, anything. Why the heck are you an Indian? And then my other aunt came. And the first clue should have been my aunt that had the party that was passing out candy. Because she was dressed up as a cowboy. And she didn't normally dress up. I mean, yeah, there were a few years where she would borrow my old costume. Like, I remember the year before, she would always say, "Oh, I like that costume. Can I borrow it for next year?" And then next year, she would have the costume I had on the year before. So there were a few times where she would borrow my costume. I don't know how she fit in it because she was like 20 times smaller than I was. But anyways. So my first clue should have been that because it's like, why the heck is she a cowboy? And then my mom came as an Indian. And then my other aunt came as a construction worker. And I was like, wait a minute here. I was like, ooh. I was like, I know what's going on here. And then they slowly came one by one. And then they lined up and they're like, hey, yo, we're the YMCA. We're the village people. And I'm like, ah. I jumped in joy. It's like, oh my god, this is so cool. And I was like, kind of turning red because it was a little embarrassing, but not embarrassing. I don't know. But we had an Indian, a cowboy, a construction worker, a biker, and we had this police officer. And I'm like, you all got us. None of us knew that this was going to happen. My mom didn't speak of anything about this happening. I don't know how she got the costume without us not knowing about it. I don't know how she ordered the wig without us not knowing about it. But it was good. It was fun, and it's like, cool, even the adults are dressing up this year. Yeah, The only sad part about it was my dad wasn't there because he was working on the fire department that year. So all of a sudden, we're kind of just outside, this and that. We see this big rig coming down the street. What is that? Everyone's kind of watching it come down because it's loud. And as it gets closer, I'm like, oh! I'm like, it's my dad! What the hell is that? Stuff crawling around over there. Go away, mouse. Not in the mood. Anyways. So my dad came in a ladder truck, because at the time that's the rig that he was in. That station that he was at had a ladder truck. Even though it was louder than an airplane, that thing was so loud. So him and his coworkers jump out. And I think, oh, they're just going to be here just for a couple minutes to maybe get a bite of food or something. Because typically when my dad came, because typically 90% of the parties we had were in town, was in the town that he worked for, of my hometown, Streamwood. So typically he could just hop in a truck and come to the party just to hang out for a couple minutes because it was in town. So it's not like he had to worry about leaving town. Not that he could have, but like, you know, majority of the parties that we had when he was on call, he could just stop by in a ladder truck or engine or squad or whatever he was in. So he comes down and we take some pictures in front of his apparatus. We take some pictures in front of his fire truck. You know, me and my sister get up there. Then my aunts get up there. Then my cousins get up there. Because that year, my cousins were also people from Left 4 Dead. That kind of pissed me off a little bit because my cousins had a tendency of dressing up as people from like a movie or people from a TV show, people from like a, what do you call it, a video game, and wouldn't tell me and my sister that they were dressing up as people from a video game or anything, because if they would have done it, we probably would have joined them. Like, there was one time where they dressed up as people from Left 4 Dead. It's like, hello, me and my sister loved that game. We would probably have done something, you know, me and my sister probably would have joined them. One year they were the Power Rangers, and it's like, hello, we like the Power Rangers a little bit. I wasn't too crazy about it, but they pissed me off when, you know, one year they would come to the party and they would all be dressed up from like a TV show or a movie or something like Marvel, like superheroes or something, and it's like, where the heck was that phone call? Oh, part 2 coming.